Alrighty, welcome to episode 10 of the AUZi podcast, Talk Small Business to Me. We have the amazing Wendy from Lil Potty Mouth.
Hi, everybody.
It's so exciting that you're on today, and what you can see in front of us, we're going to make some ceramics, like these little animal planters, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
We'll see how creative I am. How are you feeling about today?
Yeah, excited. I'm
Yeah?
happy.
Yeah,
Happy to be here.
It'll be good. What I like to do is I try to. I feel like I forget every single episode, but what I'd love is to start it off with like a little icebreaker. What song would you give your business? If you had to choose one song that represented your business, what would it be?
I'm a bitch, I'm a mother. I'm a sinner, I'm a saint.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm like everything in the business, and it's a lot.
No. I love it. Great. Okay, well.
Did not even know that question was coming either, but that song just came into my...
That's perfect. I love it. Okay, so we've got little kits. I'm just like... I actually should have opened this before we started because you showed me, but...
Well, what it has is just a little YouTube, video QR code where people can go to a demo video that just explains step by step how to make an animal planter.
Yeah, cute.
This one's great because it's for kids or adults, and it's super easy.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's see. It's got like...
It's all very natural, you know.
Yeah.
With the
I was like, look at this. It's got like little... why am I blanking? Mulch?
sugar cane mulch.
Yeah, great. I was like, I know what this is, but like, why am I blanking on the name? Anyway. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh, you've got the dark one. I've got the light one.
Okay, great. So, like, okay, if all fails before, like, we've not even jumped into the questions yet, but if all fails, can I, like, DIY this as, like, a mug? Like a mini one? Like a little espresso shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I was like, if all else fails, I was like...
So, yeah, you can do the pinch pot method like I mentioned with that, and then make a handle with that and add something onto the front of it.
Yeah, okay, cute. What if I make like an animal mug? That could be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cute. Okay, I'm just going to like shift this a little bit. And... oh, this kind of feels like ASMR. Anyway, okay, let's just jump in. Okay, so I want to hear your story. Mm-hmm. Tell us your story. What inspired you to start creating ceramics, and how did your journey begin?
Okay, well, this is a bit wild. So I did ceramics at school. It was my best subject. I was pretty much rubbish at everything else. Had this kind of thought, as you do when you're in school, I wouldn't be able to do this for a job, even though I love this. Oh, my dad wants me to work in his company and, you know, wants me to become an accountant, which I never did. That's just not me. No. But, I did kind of start at the bottom and work my way up to sales and in his kitchen business. Mm-hmm. And it was great because I learnt a lot of things about business that I use today and got a lot of confidence from that because he basically just let me go. Yeah. So go years and years down the track where I've worked in his business, then I've gone to uni and studied psychology, become a social worker, a mentor, all kinds of different jobs, even did family daycare for a bit. And then I actually was in quite a toxic relationship and just at a time in my life where I just hit a wall. I was burnt out. I'd been working full time. I have 4 daughters.
Yeah, wow. Full house.
Yeah. And I basically had a breakdown. Had a breakdown.
As most would.
Yeah. Had no energy.
Yeah.
Was like, what am I going to do now? Am I going to be like this forever? That was my biggest fear. Am I ever going to get out of this? Am I ever going to feel like excited about something or have some energy or feel like I can do something? Because I had to stop everything.
Yeah.
And it was scary. It was like hitting rock bottom and just not really knowing where to go. So what I ended up doing was just deciding that I wasn't going to push myself, that I wasn't going to make myself do all the things that I'd been doing. I was going to heal. I was going to take some time and get out in nature and just veg for a bit. So I kind of moved the kids and I into an apartment, decided I wouldn't be able to manage a garden, and just lived a bit of a life where it was very simple and just no pressure. I had to my specialist said you need to remove all stress from your life and heal, and prescribe me all these vitamins and things. So one of my healing things was the pottery.
Yeah.
So, the clay, the hand building. So that's how it started.
Yeah, wow. That's beautiful. Well, I mean, through the midst of adversity as well, but...
well, sometimes the best things come out of just hitting rock bottom.
Yeah. And I feel like you learn about yourself in new and beautiful ways as well.
That's so true. You learn to maybe take a bit better care of yourself and just to, just lose fear. You lose the fear of just not having anything and all those kinds of fears because you've already gone there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you come back fearless.
Yeah. So was hand building, ceramics, pottery, was that something you already had a passion about? And can you tell us about like maybe the first piece you created?
It's like I'd forgotten about it. So when it was something that was always there, I'm going to get back to that as a hobby. I'm going to get back to that. And I never did. And it wasn't until this happened, it's like, all of a sudden I had all this time.
Yeah.
So I, decided finally I was going to do it. So this is the first thing I made.
Yeah, wow.
Pretty sexy.
Pretty sexy. I love it. I love it.
It for me, it kind of reminds me of some artifact that's been dug up that someone a million years ago made.
But I genuinely do love it. Like, I think it's really cool, and it's got like little face and like eyebrows, and I love it. Well, it looks, at least that's what I think it is. Maybe it's not.
It's a face. It's definitely a face.
Yeah. So how do you feel like that kind of like shaped your creativity around it? Do you think it was just like you were just always super creative and then you were like, come back to my roots kind of thing?
I feel like it comes really naturally to me, but I had a fear of pursuing that as my main thing. I won't be able to support myself. That's just like a fear-based kind of judgment. And so I started, I love making things using molds, like it could be just a bowl out of your kitchen or a plant pot, and then using textured material. So I started doing a lot of that at the studio.
Yeah, wow. No, I love it. So this is like a bit of a detour from that, but like, what's your industry pet peeve?
Do you know what? I've thought about that, and I don't really have one.
Okay.
I have more of a world view pet peeve.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like, we're in a world where there is quite a lot of, corruption, and I feel like it's hard for people. It's hard for everyday people just because the people at the top are corrupt and all about money.
Yeah.
I guess that's my overall pet peeve. But as far as my industry goes, I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good thing though. Yeah. Like, I feel like sometimes it's easy to get caught up in like the toxicity of different industries as well. Not that you'd be a part of it, but it's like sometimes you just get down and about because at the end of the day we're all human and people are flawed as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you establish yourself in the pottery community, and what advice would you give someone that's trying to branch in like as a newcomer?
Well, the first thing I did, which is I think is a really good way to go, is first of all I was like, oh my God, I love this so much. I want to share this with people. One of the first things I did was come up with these kits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I want everyone to be able to do this. So I came up with a brochure, came up with the marketing and the QR codes and all the things behind the scenes. Started marketing the kits before I even started selling pottery, which is kind of weird. And then I was accumulating all these pieces. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these platters and mugs? And, I love them all, but it's just too many. I feel like I've gotten to the next stage where I'm making all this stuff and I feel like I found my niche and I love what I make. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
So my first market was the Gold Coast Potters Mother's Day market in, I think it was like 2020. And
Interesting year to branch in.
say again?
Interesting year to branch in.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
I know, exactly. And so what happened at that market was, it was my first market. I just had a table. It poured with rain.
Oh, no.
Hand sanitizer on every table.
Yeah.
Luckily, I brought a big sheet of plastic and sat there
Yeah.
at the top, and there were puddles of plastic in all my bowls. But I did really well.
Oh, great.
And considering the weather.
Considering, yeah.
And so, yeah, that was like, oh, wow, that was really cool. You know, expanded to a big gazebo. And
Yeah, you got the market bug.
yeah, kind of. Kind of, but
Kind
they
of.
can be tiring.
Yeah.
So you've got to be smart about it.
Yeah. For sure. Oh my gosh, this is not really working out. You're doing incredible. Obviously it's your career, but like
Here, give it here, I'll fix it up a bit.
okay, so talking about markets, what role have local markets played in growing a brand, and do you have any tips for standing out at the markets?
Markets are really great for testing out your products, especially if you want to sell them in other areas or, you know, to see what sells and what people like. They're, you know, just a good little extra income, another little branch where you branch out and it's another form of income for your business. Especially if you can get a market that's indoors.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of setting up a gazebo.
No, I don't think anyone is.
So, and for setting up, yeah, you want it to be visually, like I'm bad at this. I cram everything in and I'm trying to get better at placing things so that it's like I'm like, oh, I want to bring that. I want to bring everything. And then, yeah, I'm the worst for that. So I've been getting better, bringing less things and just, you know, spacing them out a bit more. But if you can, come up with a colour scheme and little shelves and, I don't know, make it look all really cute. Oh, sorry, I've taken this over.
No.
But
It's great. I'm
just
like,
needs,
wow.
just needs a bit of blending.
Yes. No, I can do that.
If you want to bring it up higher, you could make a coil out of one of these. But did you want it just a little?
Yeah, I think I just like a little, but like.
So just blend it a bit more. Don't pinch it.
Okay.
Blend.
Okay.
Because pinching will thin it out and dry it out and make it a weird shape.
Do you think I'm like, I've got really small hands. Do you think I'm disadvantaged?
Look at my little monkey man hands.
Oh, okay, cute.
Perfect.
Okay, because I was like, oh, this is a bit of a challenge blending.
Well, what happens is that your muscles build up in your fingers once you've had a bit of practice at this, and then
I mean, I did piano for years. You'd think I'd be better at this.
Are you out of practice?
That is probably it. That's probably it. That's so funny. Oh, it's coming around. It's coming around, guys. Okay, so
Make sure you've got public liability insurance for the stall.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
You guys have a great policy for that.
Yeah.
Really economical.
Yeah, the girls are amazing. Before I like started here, I feel like I was a bit of like, didn't really understand it all. And then they just like make it so easy. So.
Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely.
Absolute gems. So pricing handmade products can be really tricky. Did you go through like a trial and error to find the right pricing strategy? Or?
I think what I did, I kind of walked around and got a bit of an idea. Intuitively, I did it to start with. It's like, how much can I like afford to let this go for without it hurting my soul?
Yeah.
You know, I've put this time into it. And the thing is, over time, you get better at your craft and your prices do go up because it's better quality. You've made it better. And I think you tend to value yourself more as well because it is a form of art.
Yeah. Do you think like a lot of conversations I have, it's a massive issue is in terms of like imposter syndrome around it and not like undervaluing yourself. Was that something you struggled with?
from time to time. If I haven't done a market in a little while, I'll go to a market, and if I have a little bit of that, very occasionally I'll be like, oh, is my stuff good enough? And then I get there and people are like, oh, wow, that's so good. And I'm like, oh, yeah,
like,
it
yeah,
is.
I'm good. It's like whatever.
And that happened the first time. I think that's what kind of validated me going, oh, I can do this, was that first market when people were like, oh, wow, this is really cool, you know, because, yeah, if you've got your own little niche and your own style, there's always going to be someone who likes it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like one of our other podcasts we talked about knowing your tribe.
Yeah.
And knowing, like, who backs you. Like, people are going to choose your products as long as you represent your brand well. Like, if you're your brand's biggest advocate, like, people are going to love it.
Yeah, yep. And you have to love what you make.
Yeah.
There's no point making stuff where you're...
For, like, other people, like...
Exactly. That's just not going to work because you're going to grow to hate making it because you're going to be like, oh, actually, this isn't doing it for me.
Yeah, no, literally. No. Goodness gracious.
So, yeah, I have to say, I love what I make and it's always evolving so that I don't get bored. I'm an advocate for sticking to the one thing so that people know what your brand is and what it is you do. But unfortunately, I'm just not capable of doing it. I get bored really easily.
Yeah.
I'm the worst for that. So,
like, oh, pretty shiny thing. Let's move over to that.
oh, let's do kits. Oh, let's make stuff. Let's make sculptures for the gallery.
Yeah.
Let's
No, it's like, oh, there's always something else to do.
it's just my brain. It just isn't stimulated unless it's doing a million things.
Yeah. So. I feel that. Oh, goodness. Wow.
This is taking way more longer than usual. I thought I could multitask, but talking and
making. It's like something else. I'm like trying to watch you as well.
You're doing an animal planter now.
I'm thinking of doing both.
Oh, it's with legs, but it's going to have a handle. Really blend
Okay.
that.
Okay. I've got it.
See how that's blended? Otherwise, they're just...
I feel like I'm otherwise pushing it in.
Normally we'd use some slip, but we're doing
fine.
the quick
it's
version.
Fine. So how do you use social media to connect with your audience and promote your ceramics?
Oh my God, it's actually a challenge doing everything. And social media, I wouldn't say I'm computer savvy, but oh my God, I do put a lot of time in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what happened for me freakishly was that I started getting my following started increasing from me doing sped up reels of me making things.
It's honestly so satisfying though. I was like watching them the other day and I was like trapped. I was mesmerized.
And still like I'm no marketing guru. Most of the time I don't even know what I'm doing. As far as do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I've made the website myself and all I've got on there at the moment are my kits. Mm-hmm. And I started putting mugs and all kinds of things on there at the end of last year. And I couldn't figure out how to make all the different categories because I was following what was happening, but I think just my Mac, it didn't translate well onto my Mac to be able to do it. I've been on the phone to Wix like twice for hours.
Yeah.
And it's like I still can't get it.
Wix is hard to use sometimes though.
I think I'm just going to pay someone. I feel like I'm at the stage now where I can do kind of actual paid advertising for my kits.
Yeah.
And pay someone to...
That's awesome.
To, fix up my website a bit because what was happening was people would go to my website and everything would all be bunched in together. So they'd have to look through all the kits to get to anything else and I was like, oh, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. No, 100%. So...
Work in progress.
Work in progress, yes. So, like, in terms of, like, let's circle back to social media, like, in particular, like... Let's talk like Instagram and stuff like that.
Yep.
Did you find that like you started getting a lot of traction, I guess, through there and that really like helped promote your business? Or was it like they kind of universally happened?
Definitely Instagram for me.
Yeah.
Definitely the reels on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then I do a lot of events. So I do a lot of events in Brisbane, Toowoomba, here on the Gold Coast, a lot of hens parties, Christmas parties, and I run my own events. I got a couple coming up, one in Coomera in a couple of weeks and one in Broadbeach next month. So that's making these types of things, making two pieces for $79.
Yeah, wow.
So it could be a bowl, a bowl and a mug or a whole range of different things. But so what I was doing was sharing the footage of these events of people making things.
Yeah.
And so, I get quite a lot of people contacting me about their events. So I'm like, okay, well, that's worked.
Yeah.
That's worked from Instagram. It shares over to Facebook. And kits, I get sales kits from kit sales from there. And to be honest, I don't sell these online. I mean, it's my plan.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my plan. I'm still deciding. But I mostly sell these in galleries.
Yeah, wow.
Galleries and markets.
Yeah, okay. So where does most of your main income in terms of
Definitely events.
Events? Yeah, okay. So that's how are people sourcing that just through social media?
Yeah, absolutely. Because most of the messages I get about events are on Instagram or they'll come through on my phone. So I guess people are finding me on Google. But definitely Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So would you suggest to those in the pottery community to jump on and
Do you know what? Start where you are. Don't expect to be perfect. Talk about your frustrations. Put your daggy pots that are a bit wonky.
Yeah.
Put them on there. Who cares? I mean, if you go back and look at some of the stuff I was making when I first started putting things on Instagram, and it wasn't even reels. It was just posts. And I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, that was a bit messy.
Yeah. No, but it's also a really cool way to see your growth as well.
And to get practice.
It's like a little
confidence.
scrapbook album, it's like an exact representation on how you've grown in your art and your craft. Yeah.
Do you know what? You really do have to look back on how far you've come and celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
And appreciate yourself and give yourself a pat on the back. It's so easy to compare yourself with other people, and I suggest don't do that. Actually, don't.
Yeah. No, 100%. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, it's starting to come.
It's coming together.
It is. It's looking good.
Yeah. It's a pretty weird looking mug planter combination.
Looks
Yours
good
is
to
so
me.
cute. Oh, okay. I was jealous. I'm oh, okay.
You want to swap?
It's it's like you're a pro or something like that.
I don't know. I'm kind of not really concentrating much on it, so it's not getting all my attention. But
it's still so cute though. Oh, love it. Okay, so
do you want me to do a bit of blending?
Oh yes,
Just
please. Oh, legend. No, I appreciate it so much. So, what was your what was the process like when you were transitioning from focusing on creating to teaching? I mean, tell us about that.
I guess I got a bit of practice because I made some videos where I was making these things. So I got a bit of practice doing that. And you know what? It was freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying when you do those things for the first time. And I'm always challenging myself. I feel like you've always got to push yourself to that place of where it feels uncomfortable, where it is a bit scary, because then you go to amazing places. You've got long nails, which makes it a little bit harder for you.
Oh.
And so, it was scary. And I started out practicing on my friends.
Yeah, no, great.
So I had an event at my place where I invited a whole bunch of people. My daughter is a videographer, photographer. But at the time I wasn't, reels weren't really a thing. So she came to a few events. She took some really great photos for me to start off with on social media. But you know what? You can take great photos with your phone. I don't have her do that for me anymore. I do a reel every day or release a reel every day.
Yeah, so good.
I'll just blend that.
No, beautiful. Oh, yay. Oh my gosh. I was mesmerized watching you do that at the same time. So do you see workshops as almost like a passion project, or are they like essential part of your business model? You kind of like answered it, but like,
do you know what? It's essential because I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to survive. Not yet, anyway. Maybe down the track, but so far, and initially, definitely the events mean I can make sculptures that don't even need to go anywhere. They're kind of like, oh, I'm planning for an exhibition somewhere, don't even know where.
Yeah.
But it means I can spend the time to make these things that don't have a purpose apart from, being interesting to look at.
Yeah.
I can kind of start going down that other path I want to go down. And, it means I can survive and live and thrive and just basically have fun because I don't get up in the morning. This hasn't happened to me for years since I've worked for myself. And it's really hard to call it work a lot of the time too. But I just don't get that feeling of, I don't want to go. It's always, sometimes I'm a bit tired but it's never that yuck feeling you get going to a job that you hate.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in years.
That's when you know you're in the right place kind of thing. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, it's hard work.
It's 100%.
I work longer hours than a full-time employee.
Yeah. And how do you go separating like a work-life balance in terms of like, okay, this is your art, this is like your passion.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's what you do as well. So how do you like kind of separate the two where it's like, no, this is like me just creating and this is me working?
It's actually hard. The creating part, I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I'm always making weird things. So I have this passion about finding rocks and sticks and bits of wood that are shaped like things and usually animals or creatures, and then I'll make another part of it out of clay and I'll put it together.
Yeah.
So it might be like a piece of driftwood I find on the beach that's like a shark's head, and then I'll make the fins and the tail and put it together. So that's my little artist passion at the moment, which I haven't done a lot with, and it's the direction I want to move into. My huge challenge as I've gotten busier and doing all these things is actually self-care.
Yeah.
It's exercising, it's getting enough sleep. Like I'm a really good sleeper, but I'm using up recycled clay at the moment. I just get obsessed sometimes, and I've been up late nights with all this recycled clay because I'm like, I'm trying to declutter at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm making all these giant whales out of clay, but I'm like obsessed with it. And I look at the time, it's like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Oh gosh, you just get absorbed in the art.
Yep, I do. And I've got them, like I have a project planned with them. So it's a bit of a secret project.
Oh, I was like, like, so you're just...
Watch this space.
Watch the space. I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. Like little whales, like big whales actually. They're not little.
Yeah, and it's just, honestly, I had bags and bags of leftover bits of clay from events and things I'd made, or they'd just dried out. So I've added water to them, and it's like,
give them life.
What am I going to do with this? So I thought, I have this project where I'm making all these giant whales. That would be perfect. So
wow.
It'll probably take me 3 weeks of nights getting through all this clay, but I'm determined.
You're determined. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm making it happen.
Okay, wait. Okay, this is...
All right, I'm going to put some eyes on here.
Oh, cute. Little details.
Mouth.
Okay, so this is kind of along the same wavelength, but what challenges do you face when you're balancing creativity with profitability?
Balancing creativity with profitability.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing. When you're making things, it's so easy to get caught up with the making. And so I have to set aside a Monday, sometimes part of a Tuesday, and go, that's my admin day. That's my day where I'm doing marketing. I'm concentrating on selling this stuff and coming up with improving my website, or coming up with a marketing campaign and paying, like just doing the paperwork, even the like, your spreadsheet for your accountant and things like that. I do those on a Monday and Tuesday so that because it's not a job I like, I make sure, okay, that's my day of doing that, get it out of the way, do the fun stuff at the end of the week, because that's a part of the profitability. And I'm always looking for different avenues. So I'm in a couple of galleries as well, and I'm expanding on that. But also the trade-off there is that I'm looking at things that people are buying and making more of those.
Yeah.
So some of the things are repetitive, but not too much. Not too much. I don't feel like I'm selling myself short because I'm still enjoying making those things. I sell a lot of whales.
I love it.
Yeah. So, I am kind of looking at things and going, oh, okay, I sell a lot of those. Oh, I might prefer making these, but what's the point of making that? People are going to buy whales over sharks, you know? So in a way, you've got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want a whole garage full of sharks that no one's going to buy.
Yeah, well, we're talking about decluttering, aren't we? Like, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was kind of going through this full-on stage of, making stuff. And one of the things I did was I started doing regular classes at a society, and it pushed me over the edge.
Okay.
I was already doing so much, and I was already doing a volunteer role at an association, and I was starting to feel overwhelmed. Stuff wasn't getting done at home. My garden was out of control. My house was out of control, and I was just feeling overwhelmed. And I thought, you know what? You're already making all these free how-to reels for people online. You've been doing this volunteer role for 2 years. Let it go and get on top of your stuff.
Yeah.
And, you need to start putting yourself first a bit more in that respect. And, you're a single mum. Well, I do have a boyfriend now.
Oh,
but I live in the house. It's just me and the kids living in the house.
Yeah.
Let someone who's, maybe got a husband and whatever and their kids have left home, maybe someone like that can take over that volunteer role. And the teaching, it was just that final straw that broke the camel's back. Everything fell behind. It was just an extra day of – it ended up being like an extra day of week when it came down to prepping and the time I was putting in and the toing and froing, taking all the gear there and bringing it back because there wasn't a lot of resources there at this place.
Yeah, okay.
And and it was just tired. It was just wearing me out. So I ditched it. I thought, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not working for me, and it's just that thing that's pushed me over the edge, so I'm pulling back. So, I ended up pulling back a whole bunch of things, and I'm still decluttering and just trying to get organised at home while still maintaining all of this. But I feel like you got enough going, girl.
Yeah.
You need to fix, get some work on your website done and other things.
Yeah, and life still has to happen, it doesn't just slow down because we've got too much going on sort of thing. So it's like, okay, how can you prioritize the things that are benefiting the business? How are you prioritizing, like you said, self-care, all that sort of thing? How are you really putting your priorities straight in order to see you and your business thrive,
Yeah, and if there's no me, there's no my business.
Exactly.
So I've got back into I stopped exercising. I was feeling tired and I wasn't eating as well as I should, and I was like, this has to stop because it's making me feel anxious because I'm not having that time off and getting out in nature I know works for me. I'm not eating as healthy because I'm rushed, and when I'm all these things kind of snowball and they're all factors that stop you from looking after yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're not exercising, even if it's just going for a walk and getting outside, if you're not having enough time off, all those things impact you eating healthy because you're stressed. If you're not getting outside and getting out, you get stressed, especially if you're on social media making reels and doing all that all the time as well. So I've had to, I wasn't feeling good, so I've put my foot down.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I feel like it's hard. Like that would have been really hard for you to be like.
And I don't think, I actually think it's a bit of I think it's BS that we as women can do it all. I don't think we can.
Preach it, sister.
I don't think we can.
No.
You know, like when I look at all the things in the garden and just the handyman things, and then trying to, you know, I'm basically trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's like we've got so much capability and capacity, but it's almost like we burn ourselves out with how much capacity we've got, that you need to let someone in the journey as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, it takes a team. I think in a household you need two people. You need the good cop and the bad cop, and the person to, you know, do the heavy lifting and the person to be the nurturer. And, you know, I haven't always thought that, but, yeah, I've kind of gone back to that. I think that works.
Yeah. No, literally. And when it's like it's all a journey, and we're all on a journey anyway.
We're learning stuff all the time. Yeah. And that's, you know, that's all a part of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think, like, one of my things is, like, we might as well, like, make the most of it, you know what I mean? And, like, find that joy and, like, that passion and everything like that. Like, it's so beautiful that you were able to step into something that's a passion for you, and you were able to see that thrive as well.
And that's the thing. Hit rock bottom and you think it's the end of the world, and it ends up being the best thing that ever happened to you. And there's some kind of it's freeing to be able to say, and I think it lets other people off the hook as well, and allows people to have that conversation, to be able to say, yeah, I was broken.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest thing ever, from being this person who was so high energy and capable and doing a million things, to all of a sudden just hit a wall and be like, oh my God, I'm so anxious and I feel like I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard journey. What's one piece of advice that you would give, like, aspiring potters, handmade creatives, anything like that are looking to turn their passion into a business?
I would say just take the time, first of all, to find your own little niche, that thing that you love making, and just make it, and you know, do all variations of it, and just really enjoy it, because when the time's right, that's when you'll feel that urge to take it further. Just enjoy it to start with, and just start where you are. Some of the best breaks that have happened for me have come to me. It hasn't been me chasing them. It's been through little synchronicities of where I've gone to pick up some clay, and the guy said to me, oh, what sort of stuff do you make? Oh, actually, this gallery's been looking for this kind of thing. I think that. Yeah, wow. So I got into this gallery just from that, not even doing anything really. Yeah. And then even I contract for a company in Brisbane, and that's just been phenomenal for me. And that was just someone saying, oh, hey, I saw this ad. They're looking for, you know, someone to do pottery. Followed it up, and best thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah, just from, I think if you just get in a flow, and you don't think that there's not hard work. There's plenty of hard work. But for me, what works for me as well, because there's so many things I have to do, I always on any given day usually I have a routine, but if I'm like, oh, I just do not feel like doing that right now, there's a million other things for me to do. I just swap things around. I just go, oh, actually, I feel like cleaning up all that stuff right now. So it's just doing that thing that you love, but don't compare yourself to other people. Don't go, oh, you know, I've only just started and this person has all these followers and they're doing all this. I'll never be able to catch up. Not true, because you can always come up with your own little thing that no one else is doing. And you just get traction. You get traction, and over time, in 5 or 10 years' time, even 2 years, you'll look back and you go, oh, well, I did nothing, but I could have actually been here.
And like, because one of the there's like the whole concept of like I said before, like understanding who, like knowing your tribe and whatever, but it's also like, don't just try and follow the crowd, like just, I guess, follow where you are, your direction's actually leading you.
So true. Yeah. It'll come naturally. Honestly, you'll play, and then you'll all of a sudden, you know, don't kind of be, you know, pushing it, but something will just come. Something will happen.
Yeah.
And you'll know. You know, but you're better off not second guessing it and fretting about it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah. And just enjoy the moment as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to leave lasting impressions or anything like that? Because that was my last question, I think.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Lasting impressions.
Well, it's more like, is there any like final remarks? I know you just said advice, but any final remarks?
Well, getting back to like finding your own little niche, I don't actually know anyone that does little textured using molds exactly like I do. But then what you'll also find is that you'll evolve, so you don't have to stay doing the same thing. I'm adding little shells and sea creatures and things to my pieces now because they're in galleries, and I'm turning them into art instead of just being functional pieces. But you know what? My biggest advice would be, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just kind of, give yourself a break. We're only human. Yeah, and some mantras that I used were, you're doing the best you can and that's okay.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite ones. And just, I don't know, just saying kind things to myself. I don't say negative things to myself. I keep it positive because I know I am doing my best.
Yeah. No, I love it. This is the final creation, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
I was thinking like, do I add a head? But
well, you
maybe
can.
not.
You can. I'm just going to check. You really want to make sure these handles are blended well.
Yeah, I was going out of my way for it.
Yeah, if we want to be super, like super studious, we would have used some slip, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Score it and slip it.
I think I did. That's like the
Oh, okay.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I did that on both
Yeah,
ends.
good job. Good. You learnt that at school, didn't you?
I don't know, maybe. I feel like it was just somewhere in my memory. I was like, this is what I need to do.
Yeah, you must have learnt that in art at school.
Yeah.
I'm just checking your blending.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes it'll.
Yeah, it was looking beautiful. Like I'd blend it looked great, and then my nails would cut into it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn it. Yeah, maybe I did need to trim them.
Another suggestion too for anyone, if you did want to break into pottery, I offer a firing. If you're local on the Gold Coast, I offer for my kits glazing and firing, because if you go to other places, you buy the clay, then you've got to bring it back, get it bisque fired, take it home, glaze it, bring it back, get it glaze fired. So if anyone wanted to try it and see if they can find their own little niche, I have all different sized kits, and for $10 a piece, I bisque fire it, glaze it, and glaze fire it. So if you wanted to break in to start doing a bit of pottery, that could be a nice little place to start.
Yeah.
And all my kits come with a video, a how-to real-time video.
Yeah. Like a little QR code.
What I would suggest is just putting your fingers in and going, oh, do they fit? And then like pinching it and making that area bigger so that you can actually use it.
I feel like they do.
Oh, okay. That's how you hold a mug usually? Don't put all your weight on that.
No. That's why I was like, I don't want to hold it too much.
Yeah.
Okay,
sweet. That's how you hold it. Obviously my fingers are fat.
I was like, I think this is how I hold, when you're like second guess yourself. It's fine. No, just thank you so much for joining.
Thanks
the
for having me.
today.
This has been really fun.
Yeah, I love it. And I love seeing the way that you've evolved, and I guess the creativity, because like your beautiful pieces. Like I love the one with the little star, the starfish.
Well, actually, this is something I wanted to say as well. So because I get bored sometimes with just making the same things, or I'm always trying new things. I'll see maybe something on Instagram and I'll put my own little, and then I'll test it out at the market. So these are like little hangy things. I've only made a couple of them, but I thought, oh, that's fun. And it just means I can use up leftover clay and have a bit of fun making something new all the time.
No, it's so cute. I love it. Oh, and like it's cool to see like I guess your creativity thrive, and I guess allowing yourself to really create a business out of it, like it's something that you can be passionate about and be like, this is mine. And this
I
is
am
beautiful.
sometimes too passionate. It scares me. I'm like, slow down. You don't have to do this all the time. Have a break.
No, it's great. It's great. I love what you do. Yeah, I'm going to do the outro. This is always the most awkward bit, and I feel like I have to preface it because
Why? What's awkward?
Well, I just like, it's fine. No, it's great. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, thank you for joining episode 10. This was our season 1 close. So thank you for joining Talk Small Business to me. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
No, of course. Oh, and make sure to follow Wendy on social media. Do you want to chuck in your handle and stuff like that?
Yep. For my functional pieces, it's Lil Miss Potty Mouth, LIL Miss Potty Mouth on Instagram and Facebook. And then I also have more of an art page, and it's called Wen Lane Ceramic Artist. So WEN Lane Ceramic Artist on Instagram and Facebook. So more sculptural things.
No, I love it. Beautiful. Alrighty. Well, tune in next time. We'll see you. That is Talk Small Business to me. Bye.
Bye.